Jerusalem wasn't destroyed because God abandoned his people. It stayed broken because the walls were still down. The temple had been rebuilt. Worship had returned. But the city was exposed, vulnerable, and living in fear. That's when God raised up a man named Nehemiah. Not a prophet, not a priest, not a warrior, but a cupbearer. And through him, God shows us how to rebuild what's broken while the enemy is watching.
Who was Nehemiah?
Nehemiah lived in Persia, far from Jerusalem. He served as cupbearer to King Artaxerxes, a trusted position, close to power, safe, comfortable. But when he heard that Jerusalem's walls were still in ruins, he didn't shrug it off. The Bible says he sat down and wept.
When I heard these things, I sat down and wept. For some days I mourned and fasted and prayed.
Nehemiah teaches us something important right away. God's call often begins with a broken heart.
Prayer before action.
Before Nehemiah lifts a single stone, before he asks the king for permission, he prays. And not a quick prayer, a deep one. He confesses sin. He remembers God's promises. He asks boldly,
O Lord, let your ear be attentive to the prayer of your servant.
This is where many people rush ahead, but Nehemiah doesn't. Because God's work done, God's way, begins in prayer.
The call to rebuild.
When the king notices Nehemiah's sadness, Nehemiah prays again, silently, and then asks, permission is granted, resources are provided, protection is given. When Nehemiah arrives in Jerusalem, he doesn't announce his plans. He inspects the walls at night, quietly, carefully. Then he says,
Come, let us rebuild the wall of Jerusalem, and we will no longer be in disgrace.
And the people respond.
Let us start rebuilding.
Revival always begins when God's people say yes.
The work begins.
Families rebuild side by side, priests rebuild, merchants rebuild. Everyone has a section of the wall. Nehemiah chapter 3 shows us this clearly. God's work is shared work. No spectators, no sidelines. Everyone builds.
Opposition rises.
And right on time, the enemy shows up. They mock.
What are these feeble Jews doing?
When mockery doesn't work, they threaten violence. When threats don't work, they spread fear and distraction. But Nehemiah doesn't argue. He prays and keeps building. Here's the key lesson. Opposition is confirmation you're doing something right.
Sword in one hand, tool in the other.
This is the moment Nehemiah is most famous for. Those who carried materials did their work with one hand and held a weapon in the other. They built, they guarded, they stayed alert. This is a picture of the Christian life. Build your faith, but guard your heart. Work, but stay watchful. You don't stop building because of opposition. You build with wisdom.
The wall is finished.
Despite everything, mockery, threats, fear, the wall is finished in 52 days. And the enemies were not happy. They lost their confidence because they realized that this work had been done with the help of our God. What God starts, He finishes. What He rebuilds, He restores fully. Nehemiah isn't just about walls. It's about rebuilding faith, rebuilding discipline, rebuilding prayer, rebuilding boundaries. Some of us need to rebuild what the enemy has had access to for too long. And God is saying today, pick up the tools, stay alert, and finish the work. The wall wasn't the greatest miracle. The people were.